Lincoln. This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Friday. It's the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert, Enrique Alvarez Clary with you guys. What's up, Rico?
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going.
Just going?
It's going.
Nice. Anything exciting happening today, this weekend?
This weekend? No. Just going to Tips China's. Going to spend some time at the
That's right.
Ticket A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show out at Tips China starting at 4 o'clock on Saturday.
4 o'clock.
2.5 hours before kickoff of Nebraska, Indiana. And going to have myself a grand old time, hopefully, with a Huskers win.
Let's hope so. I'm ready for a post-game show that is exciting and has good stuff to talk about.
You've had one of those.
Yeah, North Dakota.
Kind of?
Was it? Because, that was North Dakota's game was one of those where it was like, yeah, this is great because Nebraska won. But although the scoreboard said 38-17, did it really feel like 38-17? And I could argue no.
It did for me at the end.
Okay, I suppose so. Byron says on the text line, Waka Flocka Grove Street. That's right. Waka Flocka Flame is performing tonight. He's the closing act for opening night. However, if you're not making your way down to PBA, make sure your dial is turned right here to 93.7 The Ticket, as we'll have high school football. 8 p.m. kickoff between Lincoln Southeast and Lincoln Southwest. It's the Knights and the Silverhawks. So it's going to be a good one. That one's at 8 p.m. from Seacrest, and I'll be hanging out with you guys for that one. As always, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, both those open for you guys the entire show today, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. If you're not doing anything at 2 o'clock from 2 to 6, make sure you head over to Barry's Bar and Grill in downtown Lincoln for, for On the Block and Old School.
Yes. Brain fart?
It's Friday. It's Friday. Kidoba Guy says, I'd use the term performing lightly when referencing Waka. Kidoba Guy, are you not a Waka Flocka Flame guy?
What are you trying to say? Kidoba Guy, what?
Do you not like Waka Flocka Flame?
What do you mean by those words?
Who will be okay, Byron asks, who will be the surprise player you're looking forward to tonight for basketball? Have you even thought about it? No. Is that bad for me that I haven't even thought a little bit about Nebraska basketball's opening night? I'm more concerned about Waka.
I have not put a lot of stock into the opening night performance from the basketball team.
Well, so the way it's happening is the women's team is going to have a scrimmage. Mm-hmm. The men's team is a 30-minute practice.
Okay. Sounds good.
It's not a scrimmage. So just prepare accordingly.
You know what else is happening tonight?
What else?
Nebraska volleyball.
That's right.
Although I don't have Big Ten Plus. I might get Big Ten Plus just because they play on the road for these next 2 weeks. But they play at Rutgers today, and they play at Maryland on Sunday. And Rutgers is 1-1 in the conference. They got swept by Michigan last week, but they beat Michigan State, the Spartans, that Nebraska swept for John Cook's 800th win. They played them to 5 sets after being down by 2 sets. Came back, reverse sweep action for Rutgers, who's 1-1 in the conference. And Maryland on Sunday, they are 0-2 in the conference. They lost to Indiana and Illinois. I don't remember the order. I believe Indiana they lost to first 3-1, 3 sets to 1, and then Illinois they lost in 5 sets. So Nebraska volleyball heading out east to play Rutgers and Maryland, then come home for a little bit, and then go back on the road next week. So it's going to be interesting.
Okay, so I have a couple of things. I'm being pulled in a couple of directions here because I got a funny tweet just came across my phone, but also somebody on the text line asked, guys, who is Waka Waka? Is it a waste of money?
Waka waka.
Well, the tickets tonight are free.
Yeah, so it's not a waste of money.
So it's not a waste of money. If you're not doing anything at 9 p.m., or what time does it start? 7? if you're not doing anything tonight for opening night, make sure you head over there. He's going to be the closing act. Now, I hope he's not Rick Ross and shows up late.
I don't think he will. Walker seems like a professional.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay, Rico.
What?
So I if I didn't have to, here, I'll put it this way, unnamed texter.
Mr. Flame is a professional. All right.
Exactly.
Don't you discount Mr. Flame.
I would put it this way, unnamed texter. If I wasn't calling high school football,
you'd be there.
I would be there. Yes, I would be there to what? Just for no hands. I just want to listen to no hands
and
be performed,
and then bounce,
and then I'd be okay
and
leaving.
Out.
If I could see no hands performed live, that'd be great. Okay, so there was this. Okay, so this tweet came. Somebody asked, "What is a waka?" I'm not sure.
Waka Flocka.
Waka Flocka Flame.
Waka Flocka Flame.
So, okay, speaking of Dolphins here, all right, because today's Tua has been a big topic, right?
Yeah.
Mike, listen to this. This tweet just came out from Mike after Mike McDaniel's press conference today. McDaniel said that he and Tua sat together on the plane and watched MacGruber during the flight home. And he added that Tua, quote, laughed throughout the entire movie, so he should be okay.
Anybody that's seen MacGruber, tell me if that's
it's a comedy It's a comedy movie.
But is it funny?
Well, so I looked up MacGruber because I have not seen it.
If he laughed through the entire thing.
MacGruber is a 2010 American action comedy film based on the SNL live sketch of the same name. Let's see. Is there anybody? Will Forte, Maya Rudolph, Val Kilmer. I've never seen it, but they made a sequel. So the first one must have been all right. Must have done enough.
Okay.
But Waka Flocka Flame is as relevant as Husker basketball is. Willard, go back to 2009 and be relevant with Husker, with Waka Flocka Flame. Tim says it's a great movie. MacGruber's a great movie, according to Tim.
It was a great movie. Therefore, it's a bad movie. Therefore,
what do you have against Tim?
Therefore, Tua laughing through the entire thing is a bad sign.
What do you have against Tim?
I don't have anything against Tim. I just had to.
Oh, no. Tiny Pig. Anyone who laughs at MacGruber is messed up in the head.
See?
Oh, no.
He's not okay.
Yikes. That's horrible. All right. Well, here's what we need to do. We have to take 4 breaks in this hour. Let's go ahead and take a timeout. When we come back, we'll dive into Husker football and also get to our picks. Zack Carpenter of Inside Nebraska will join us at 1:30 to break down Nebraska, Indiana. We'll get to more volleyball, I'm sure, in the future here as well. We'll dive into all that and more. We'll take an early timeout.
A sip and Jake, an early break. A sip and Jake here a little bit early on. We'll be right back on a happy hour on a Friday on the happy hour on 93.7 The Ticket.
Your high school football coverage rolls on right here on 93.7 The Ticket. Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. Join me this Friday at 8 p.m. for a deep city rivalry between Lincoln Southeast and Lincoln Southwest. The Knights come in winners of 3 in a row and fresh off a big 56-35 win last Friday, while the Silverhawks continue their run towards the playoffs after dominating Omaha Bryan last week 56-0 and boasting a 4-1 record in 2022. Kickoff is scheduled for 8 p.m. and you can listen to all the action right here on your home for high school football, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
The dog days of summer are here. Is your yard in need of a touch-up as we head into the fall season? August, September, and October are the months for aeration, and Penner Sprinkler and Lawn is the place to call to get the job done right. If you're noticing any issues with your sprinkler system through the hot summer months, they're always a call away, and they're already scheduling installs for sprinkler systems for next year and all other lawn care needs. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional overtime days with both day and night shift schedules available. Stand-up forklift and high-reach forklift experience is a plus for open positions, but they're willing to train for those without experience. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is under new management, but has the same great service as before. If your current garage door seems outdated or isn't working properly, call their new number at 402-480-2840 to schedule service or get a new door ordered. Steve's can repair most types of garage doors and can always point you in the right direction to get the job done. Give Steve's Garage Doors and Services a call today at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840.
Fall has arrived, and it's the perfect weather for the DIY market to listen to the game while building a deck. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance to make your project go smooth. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671 or go online at deckcityne.com.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew live from Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brought to you by A1 Automotive, Mullen Motors, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Bauer Underground, Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group, and Ritchie Brothers.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Trendy or traditional, Gary Michaels Clothiers specializes in men's tailored clothing. Off the rack or custom made to measure, there is simply no better shopping experience. Offering designer furnishings, sportswear, shoes, outerwear, and accessories for a man always concerned at looking his best. With world-class tailoring and personal service, all makes Gary Michaels Clothiers Nebraska's premier store for men. Come visit us now at Village Gardens, south of 56th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Now back to the happy hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in to the happy hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Shout out to Industry, baby.
Always and forever.
Okay, so before we get into our picks, I need to bring this up. That the Cubs,
oh my goodness,
it's still possible for the Cubs to hit the over.
Hold on. Does anybody that has been listening to the happy hour for quite some time?
Hey, shout out to Beansky. Return to Beansky. Welcome back.
Shout out to Beansky. Does anybody remember that at the beginning of baseball season, we were looking at the over-unders for win totals for teams, and we were kind of laughing at how bad the Cubs were probably going to be.
Yeah, 100%.
And the over-under for their wins was 74 and a half, right? Somewhere around there. And Nick was kind of jokingly, but kind of serious, saying, hammer the over. I said, no, they're going to be terrible. Hammer the under. Well, at this point in the season, after being very bad all season, everybody can admit that. The Cubs have been bad this season.
The Cubs have been very bad this year.
There is still a chance.
There's a chance that the over hits.
I can't have this happen. I cannot have Nick be right.
They need to win 6 more games And I believe that there are 7 games left.
This is disgusting.
Now, you would say that there's no chance that happens, but let me just fill you in on something. 2 days ago, Wilson Contreras returned off the injured list, and Seiya Suzuki returned after paternity leave.
Wannabe Shohei
returned after paternity leave. Now,
Shout out
the
to
Cubs swept the Phillies.
Okay, did you see what happened last night?
With what?
Gene Segura.
No.
And the count was wrong on the big board. So he thought that whoever was up to bat had been walked, but it was only ball 3. So he started going to second.
Oh no.
Got caught in a rundown, thrown out for the 3rd out.
Oh no. That's horrible.
But the board was wrong, so he saw that and went, and yeah, it was just a mess.
So the unnamed texter used this very common joke. My uncle blank has a bunch of money on the overs for the Cubs. Nice try. But they tried did they get VJ on this earlier?
Yeah, they did.
Bro, come on.
He went and got.
Come on, Vershawn. You got to be smarter than that. You can't let the text line outsmart you. That's one thing I've learned. Can't let the text line outsmart you. But no, moral of the story is that the Cubs, the over's possible.
Disgusting.
They had the 3rd best record in all of baseball in the month of September. And here's the thing. So they threw up the graphic. John Shambi, Boog, threw up the graphic on the screen yesterday on MLB TV. Said something along the lines of, it was like Yankees, Astros, Dodgers, Braves, and then right smack in the middle, the Cubs. And it was like the best records in the month of September.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cubs had the 3rd best record. And I just want to sit there and be like, one of these things is not like the other, because the Cubs are not a playoff team, but all the other teams have clinched.
All the other ones are World Series hopefuls.
World Series contenders.
Like if any one of those teams won the World Series, it wouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. And then there's the Cubs smack dab in the middle with the 3rd best record in all of
Is there
September.
a way that they can make? No,
they are eliminated.
They are eliminated.
So they're playing for, just kind of get into a groove next year, hopefully. All right, it's time to do our picks. Rico, go ahead and figure out the music.
Yeah, I gotta find it.
While you do that, I will also add. So I tweeted something about Amazon Prime the other day.
Oh, did you?
Just to fill the air here. Tweeted something about Amazon Prime the other day, and Amazon replied.
Oh, was it like a regular reply?
I don't know.
I don't
know. It was like, hold on, let me find it. I think it was probably a bot.
Automated.
It has to be a bot. Yeah. Because I tweeted out, just found out that I can buy Ocean's 11 for $9.99 on Amazon Prime. Best purchase I've ever made for the greatest movie ever made.
Mm-hmm.
And they replied with, "Don't worry, Nick, we got your back. We could say more, but we thought 4 words would do."
I don't know.
And then the 4 words are, "We've got your back," I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's automated.
So it's probably automated.
That's
but
automated
now I'm getting all these bot DMs, and I just got this one, and this is verbatim, not bad English here. "If you really need get chance to win Amazon $1,000 Christmas gift card, DM me." That is from Lucy.
You know what? Lucy seems trustworthy.
Okay,
you should DM Lucy.
I should DM Lucy.
Yeah, you should get that.
All right,
should get that gift card.
All right, we're gonna DM Lucy
and then buy
after
me
the
something
show.
nice.
Yeah, perfect. All right, let's do our picks. So just to recap, Rico is 9-19 on the year.
Woo! I feel like the Cubs.
They're winning. I am 15-13 overall. All right, so the way we do it, as you guys know, we choose the biggest spread. We pick the game, 4 NFL games, 5 college football games, including Nebraska's. You can have a super lock. Super lock adds a point whether you lose or whether you win.
Yep.
All right, so we do the games that aren't very sexy, and they are definitely some non-sexy ones in this pick 'em list.
Love it.
Starting out, 11 a.m. on Big Ten Network. Illinois travels to Wisconsin. Wisconsin is a 7-point favorite.
According to one of their radio hosts, they should be a 30-point favorite over this garbage team. I believe that Wisconsin gets it done. I don't think Illinois will offer that much of a challenge. I believe they push them early, but Wisconsin pulls away on the legs of Braylon Allen.
So you're saying Wisconsin covers 7?
I do.
I'm saying Illinois covers +7.
Wow.
Next up, Rutgers at 2:30 p.m. on the Big Ten Network travels to the Shoe and faces off against number 3 Ohio State, the statistically best offense right now in college football.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State is a 39.5-point favorite.
Ooh.
It's the biggest spread of the week.
Ooh. 39.5 over another Power 5 team. A team in your own division. Give me the Buckeyes. Unless Noah Ventrell's playing.
No, he's not.
Then give me the Buckeyes.
All right, I'm going Ohio State as well, and it's my
That's
super
your
lock.
super lock? Of course it's your
That's
super
my
lock.
super lock.
You would lock on Ohio State.
Next one. This is probably one of the more underrated games of the week, or not underrated, but just one that I didn't know was happening until today. Number 9, Oklahoma State travels to number 16, Baylor, and faces off against the Bears. The Baylor Bears are a 2.5-point favorite, and this is at 2:30 p.m. on Fox.
Oklahoma State lost their defensive coordinator. Everybody knows that. Their defense hasn't been the strongest this year. Their offense is kind of hitting on all cylinders. Baylor just won a great game against Iowa State. I think Iowa State's pretty decent this year. Give me Baylor.
All right, I'm taking Baylor as well.
Why are we doing this?
Here's the second to last college football game at 8:30 p.m. on the Pac-12 network.
Oh, yes. Kalen DeBoer.
No.
Ah.
They play tonight.
They do.
Against
that's tonight?
UCLA.
I thought that was
Yeah, they play against. We can pick that one. Washington's a 3-point favorite over UCLA on the road.
Give me
Washington. Yeah, I thought so
that
too.
one won't be.
I thought that. Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, Colorado. At
God.
0-4 and potentially the worst Power 5 team in all of college football.
Yep, they're bad.
Travels to Arizona. Now, here's the thing.
This is a bad game.
It's a bad game. Arizona is a 17.5-point favorite. I mean, think about this. It's a bad game, but is Colorado that bad? That bad where they lose by 18 to Arizona. Arizona's not a hard place to play.
But Arizona's better than Colorado. Everybody's better than Colorado. You know what? Colorado is terrible. Give me Arizona. Let's go Wildcats.
I'm going to go Colorado.
All right.
They get there. They don't win, but they cover the 17.5-point spread.
If Colorado wins this game, honestly, I won't be mad that I get that wrong.
Okay. So what's your super lock, Rico?
I think I might go with an NFL game.
Okay.
Depending on what you have.
Okay. First up, the biggest spread of the weekend in the NFL. The Patriots travel to the Packers. And the Packers are a 9.5-point favorite. This game is at 3:25 on CBS. 9.5.
Mac Jones might not play. Mac Jones might play. Does that mean Brian Hoyer will start?
Brian Hoyer is their dude.
Or will they bring in their rookie quarterback from Western Kentucky?
Oh, no.
The record setter.
Brian Hoyer sounds legit.
To see that. I would love to see that. Can't go against my team. Give me the Patriots.
Okay. I'm taking the Packers.
Of course you are.
Here's this one. This is actually a good game. I did not pick it because not a good game, I should say. It's going to be a close game. Did not pick it just because it's the Lions. The Seattle Seahawks travel to Detroit, where the Lions are a 3.5-point favorite against the Seahawks. This was at noon on Fox. Now, Amon-Ra St. Brown is questionable. Yeah. Amon-Ra St. Brown is questionable. Lions are a 3.5-point favorite against the Seahawks.
The Seahawks are booty. The Lions are also booty.
Oh, thank you.
Geno Smith, baby.
Okay.
And I know you're going to pick the Lions, which is why I picked Geno Smith.
I did pick the Lions. Next up, we got 3 games left here really quickly. Broncos at Raiders. Raiders are a 2.5-point favorite at 3:25 p.m. on CBS. Broncos at Raiders.
Raiders get their first win. Raider Nation, let's ride.
I'm going with Broncos.
Of course you are.
Last NFL game, Sunday Night Football, Chiefs and Bucks. The line is even, so we're picking money line here.
The Bucks are Garbo. That's all you need.
I picked the Chiefs as well.
Give me the Chiefs.
All right, last but certainly not least, here in Lincoln, Nebraska, Indiana, Hoosier Daddy at Nebraska. Nebraska is a 5-point favorite. This game, as everybody knows, 6:30 p.m. on the Big Ten Network.
I'm about to do something stupid.
You're picking Nebraska or Indiana?
No. I'm picking Nebraska.
Okay.
Super lock.
Oh, boy. I hope you're right.
Something stupid.
I'm going to pick Nebraska as well because I think Nebraska wins by like a touchdown. So, all right. So with that, let's go ahead and cut the music.
But I love the music.
I do too. But
Sexy
we got to go to break here in a moment.
Whatever.
Okay. So there's our picks for this weekend. let's make our predictions right now for Nebraska, Indiana, because I gotta head out and go to Berries.
Yep. You first.
I think Nebraska's defense isn't good, but they do enough. They force maybe a turnover when they need it the most. And I'm going to say that Nebraska wins 34-27.
Wow.
Or 34-28. I think Nebraska wins it 34-28. Their defense does just enough. They slow down. Like when we say slow down on offense, not where it's methodical, like super slow, where it's boring to watch, because I don't think that would not be good. Like, here's the thing, and we'll ask Zack Carpenter at 1:30 here about whether or not like it's a good idea to slow down. It also hurts your offense in a certain situation. So I would say that it's important that Nebraska slows it down, but doesn't completely abandon what's worked this season, which is their offense. So I think 34-28 Nebraska.
I think that it's going to be a track meet, but not a lot of scoring.
Okay.
I think it's going to be kind of a messy game. I think Nebraska takes advantage and runs the ball at a decent clip, even though Indiana was shown to have a particularly good run game towards the end of their game against Cincinnati. I think Anthony Grant has a good game. Nebraska wins 34-24.
All right, there you have it. Let's go ahead and take a break. Zack Carpenter of Inside Nebraska will join us after the break. You're listening to the Happy Hour on 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Join us on Fridays from 2 to 6 on the rooftop at Berries as we get you ready for Saturday's game on the block with Eric Strickland and Nate Brennan, followed by Old School with Jay Foreman and DP this Friday from 2 to 6 at Berries on 9th and Q.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 27th Street.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop, just south of 88th and Highway 2.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Fall has arrived, and it's the perfect weather for the DIY market to listen to the game while building a deck. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance to make your project go smooth. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671 or go online at deckcityne.com.
Trendy or traditional, Gary Michaels Clothiers specializes in men's tailored clothing. Off the rack or custom made to measure, there is simply no better shopping experience. Offering designer furnishings, sportswear, shoes, outerwear, and accessories for a man always concerned at looking his best. With world-class tailoring and personal service, all makes Gary Michaels Clothiers Nebraska's premier store for men. Come visit us now at Village Gardens, south of 56th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is under new management, but has the same great service as before. If your current garage door seems outdated or isn't working properly, call their new number at 402-480-2840 to schedule service or get a new door ordered. Steve's can repair most types of garage doors and can always point you in the right direction to get the job done. Give Steve's Garage Doors and Services a call today at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840.
If your home isn't delivering the year-round comfort you expect, call the experts at Bryant. Warm and cool, comfort and confidence. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Call 467-1111.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary hanging out with you guys. A lot of stuff to get to before Nebraska plays Indiana tomorrow. Nebraska, obviously, with a 1-3 record. With a total defense that ranks 127th in Power 5 football. They're definitely struggling. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, Bill Busch is the interim defensive coordinator. Now is a good time to bring in our weekly guest, Zack Carpenter of Inside Nebraska, joins us on the Honda of Lincoln hotline. Zack, first of all, hello. Number two, I guess let's just get right into it. Bill Busch is the interim defensive coordinator. How much change can be made in the 2 short weeks? I mean, this is a defense that has really struggled in their first 4 games, as we all know. And Indiana likes to throw the ball a lot. I mean, how much change can Nebraska fans expect on the defensive side of the ball on Saturday's game?
I don't think too much. I mean, definitely nothing complex. It's sort of the same situation we had going into the Oklahoma game when Mickey Joseph took over. It's like, yeah, we have all this new energy and hype, optimism, hope, confidence, whatever word you want to use. But the entire time we're all like, yeah, but how much can actually change in a week, you know? And I feel it's probably going to be similar with the defense this week with Bill Busch taking over. But you do have that that buffer of an extra week. You had the bye week, and then this week to prepare. And I'm looking at just the fundamentals of the defense. I mean, Bill Busch on the radio last night, he was asked, "What's the number one thing to focus on against Indiana with their up-tempo offense?" And he instantly and succinctly said, "Get lined up." Said, "Number one, get lined up, get our cleats in the turf." So we stressed it, we drilled it. So that's it's kind of incredible that's the number one most important thing is just to get lined up correctly, because they haven't been doing that for 4 weeks. They're out of position from the jump pre-snap. So I just it's an Indiana offense like you said, like I said, that plays really, really fast and up tempo. Is going to run a lot of plays. They're going to probably run a lot of pass plays. Connor Bazelak's thrown in 3 of the 4 games this year, 52 passes, 55 and 66. So I'm looking for them to attack a vulnerable Nebraska secondary, but also maybe they see something on film where obviously Nebraska's run defense is also vulnerable. And I mean, honestly, what position group on defense isn't vulnerable at this point? But the number one thing that we need to be looking for is, have the fundamentals changed? I mean, I don't know if you can fix bad pursuit angles and tackling philosophies in a 2-week span, but can they just fix those issues? Can they tweak those issues so they're not as glaring as they have been over the last 4 weeks?
We're joined by Zack Carpenter of Inside Nebraska here. And I guess along those lines, one of the most fascinating angles for me personally these last couple of weeks has been the idea that Mickey Joseph wants to slow things down offensively. And are we at this point now? I mean, looking forward, Nebraska's going to have to face running backs in some order of Blake Corum, Chase Brown, Mohamed Ibrahim, Braylon Allen, Gavin Williams at Iowa. They're going to have to face some of those guys like 5 weeks in a row. And are we at this point where Nebraska's offense might need to just slow things down in order to keep their defense off the field?
Yeah, but it's interesting. Greg Smith, our senior recruiting analyst at Inside Nebraska, he made the good point of is it even smart to slow this offense down? Because when we've looked at it through the first 4 games, that Nebraska seems to play pretty well up tempo. And if they slow things down, is that truly going to be the best thing for the offense and for this team's hopes of sort of salvaging things the rest of the season? But at the same time, it's like you have to play this two-sided coin of we need to help our defense out, but at the same time, should we also be just trying to have our offense run smoothly like a well-oiled machine too? Because I mean, I've been saying it since the Georgia Southern game. I was thinking at halftime, and if they had won that game, I had the angle I was going to go with, that Nebraska was going to have to win shootouts, and then they lost, and that completely changed everything about that weekend and the context of this season. But getting back to it, now that we still have 8 games left here, I feel like that Nebraska's best avenue to salvaging some wins this year is to win in shootouts. So I'm hesitant to believe that slowing the offense down is going to be the best thing for this team. I still think that we're going to be seeing, if Nebraska's in games late, that it's going to be in the mid to high 30s that we're going to see going forward.
We're joined by Zack Carpenter of Inside Nebraska, the rival site for the Huskers here. And sticking kind of with the offense momentarily, A.J. Allen's out. He's done for the year. And Gabe Ervin kind of just fills in that role. Are we shocked with how the guys behind Anthony Grant have played out, to where it was A.J. Allen, and then it's Gabe Ervin who won the job as a true freshman last year, Ramir Johnson, and then Jaquez Yant. Like Jaquez Yant and Ramir were 2 guys that we heard quite a bit about in spring and fall camp, and now they've kind of been non-existent.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we were just talking about this the other day. How many times do we hear at all positions of the coaches getting questions about guys, and then sort of seeing their praises about how impressive they've been and how they're in great shape, or their work ethic, or how they're going to be used. They're going to be playing a lot more, and then we don't see that happen. And those 2 guys, Ramir and Jaquez, those are 2 of the sort of the poster childs for that. Ramir, I think it surprised everybody that they haven't found a role for him in this offense. I mean, all off season, you heard Mark Whipple talk about how they wanted to use him almost in a Brian Westbrook role, and that got everybody excited, including me. Like that's going to be interesting. That could be adding a whole new dynamic to it. But then you see over the course of the first few games that he's barely played, and that part's surprising. But at the same time, you can't have, when AJ Allen was healthy, you can't have 5 running backs just getting a balanced workload. We've talked about it before, of how that can lead to no continuity or consistency. When guys aren't getting their rhythm, they don't know their place in the pecking order. And maybe they do. Maybe internally they're all well aware, and the coaching staff's communicating with them. But you are, I think, seeing that the snaps sort of dipping off for those guys. I think it might be a good thing to have that number 1 guy at the top with Anthony Grant, and then maybe just 1 or 2 guys following him behind him, because I think, like I said, it leads to more of a rhythm and consistency at that position.
Nebraska's offensive line has been, below average, to say the best, or to say the least, I should say, so far this season. And now you lose Teddy Prohaska, which Teddy's an interesting story, because Nebraska fans saw him in a small sample size last year, and he was their best offensive lineman in that small sample size before he got hurt against Michigan. And then we kind of all expected him to kind of be one of the top offensive linemen this season, and he struggled early on through the first couple games, but now he's done for the year. Ethan Piper moves into that role as a starter on that offensive line. how much concern is there now for this offensive line that like the running game might be non-existent, or not non-existent necessarily, but the running game might take us a back seat, or Casey Thompson's protection might really suffer here in these next couple of games?
Yeah, the run game is the big thing, because all off season coming in, what was the number one concern about this entire team? It was the offensive line, and right behind that, the interior of the defensive line. And we saw that play out of why those were the concerns, with this offensive line struggling so much, and mainly in pass protection, because the running game got off the ground. And now you're taking out one starter. I mean, so they have two starters who are now out for the year. And then you have two projected starters coming into the season out, and then Kevin Williams is hurt. He's a key backup. It looked like he was going to be able to fill in. At least we were going to see what he could do, but now he's out 2 to 3 weeks with that high ankle sprain. And if we already had these concerns and on the offensive line, and now you're adding an injury to a starter that's going to hurt him, because Teddy was one of their higher ceiling offensive linemen, even though he hadn't exactly played terrific over the first 3 games when he was in there. So I mean, the concerns with the offensive line, they don't. I don't know if they necessarily the concerns are that much higher, because the concerns were already high coming in.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, because now you lose Teddy Prohaska and Kevin Williams for a couple games as well, and it's just kind of you're trying to plug and play and hope for the best here. I want to get back to the defense here in a second, but offensively, I mean, who hasn't stood out to you that coming into the season, maybe you thought that they were a bright spot? Like we mentioned Ramir Johnson, and he's that name, but like I was talking on the air this morning on another show of how, like, we expected Trey Palmer to be the leading receiver. We expected Anthony Grant to be the number 1 running back, and we kind of expected Casey Thompson to go out there and do his thing. But we always come into the season with a couple guys that we think might break out. Who was that for you that just hasn't panned out so far through the first 4 games?
It's a tough question, because it's a tough question because I think the main guys I was looking forward to stand out have stood out, with Trey and Anthony, like you said. But maybe I think you're looking at Isaiah Garcia Castaneda, just because I mean, I think we had it was like a mix of like high expectations, but also patience, because he hadn't played in however long it was, like with being out with an injury. I think I can't remember the timeline on it, but then he came out against Northwestern, had the big play for a touchdown. It's like, oh wow, I guess he's arriving a little early. And then I think he was one of the leading one of the leaders in snaps in the first game, and then you sort of seen his production wane. But I'm not even necessarily concerned about the production of the receivers or the running backs. I just think it comes back to the offensive line, honestly, because we have seen what this offense can look like when the running game's working, and when Casey Thompson has time to throw. But it's going to be like that with any offensive line. Obviously, any offense is, if the quarterback doesn't have time to throw, the offense is going to be disjointed and disrupted, and not going to produce at the level it's capable of. But it's been pretty glaring so far of if Casey's given time, he can be lethal in that short to intermediate passing game, and even hit some explosives. And we just haven't seen it consistently enough, because he, especially against Oklahoma, he was pressured the entire time. So pretty much the entire time he was in there. So that's why I still always am going to keep coming back to that. If he gets time to throw, I think this offense could be pretty, very productive throughout the rest of the Big Ten slate.
So we're going to cut the interview off there really fast. When we get back from break, we'll play the rest of the interview between Nick Sainert and Zack Carpenter right here on the Happy Hour.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
It's tailgate season. Why would you bounce around from place to place for all your beverage needs when you could have it all in one place? Wine, Beer, and Spirits has everything for your parties with their 3 locations in Lincoln, Grand Island, and Omaha. It's the largest liquor store in the state, and here's the best part. You can get a drink from their bar and walk around with it as you shop for all your tailgate necessities. Locally owned and operated, it's Wine, Beer, and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
You're getting lots of steps in this fall between going to football and volleyball games. Are your shoes getting worn out? For the rest of September, when you stop by Brown Shoe Fit, you can take an additional 20% off the men's clearance rack sale price. The clearance rack has your favorite brands like Brooks, New Balance, Clarks, and more. Hurry in for the best selection in your size. The sale ends September 30th, so hurry in now for 20% off all shoes on the men's clearance rack at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional overtime days with both day and night shift schedules available. Stand-up forklift and high-reach forklift experience is a plus for open positions, but they're willing to train for those without experience. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit ASBMidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
Empire Fence and Netting in Waverly is now hiring for several positions. They're looking for a fence installer for both commercial and residential, for local projects, and ones that require travel. They also have openings for operators, dirt work, welding positions, and applicants with CDLs are very desirable. If you're looking for a locally operated business that provides excellent work for customers and great benefits and care for its employees, email info@empire-fence.com or give them a call at 402-682-7658. Empire Fence and Netting.
Fall has arrived, and it's the perfect weather for the DIY market to listen to the game while building a deck. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance to make your project go smooth. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671 or go online at deckcityne.com.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary, sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to the Happy Hour. I am Rico. Nick is down at Barry's with Nathan and the guys from Old School. We'll get to the rest of this Zack Carpenter interview that Nicholas had with him earlier today. So I'll just give that right now.
We're joined by Zack Carpenter of Inside Nebraska here. Okay, going back to the defense, there were a couple depth chart changes this week, and we kind of expected that possibility with personnel changes when Mickey Joseph and now Bill Bush takes over. Malcolm Hartzog's a true freshman. Now he's kind of made his way onto the depth chart. Omar Brown is now second at that nickel position, if I can remember correctly. I'm sure there were a couple other changes that are space in my mind. But what did you kind of just take? Ernest Hausman isn't on the depth chart as of this week. What are your takeaways from the depth chart changes on the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about Ernest, I think there's a lot of excitement coming in to the season that he could have a role, and he was given those opportunities, and he struggled. And he's a freshman. He's a true freshman playing one of the most difficult spots to play immediately coming in. I mean, linebacker is one of those that is always, in my mind, one of the most difficult to transition from senior year of high school to freshman year of college. So I'm not concerned about him at all long term. He clearly still needs to learn and grow, and I think he'll be fine. But the thing that stands out is, like you said, the changes on defense. Mickey Joseph said it after the Oklahoma game. We're gonna take the bye week to evaluate younger guys or guys who aren't getting as many snaps, and see what they can do. It's going to be competitive, and they've been talking about it all week. Marcus Buford said it on Tuesday about how it's been a lot of competition. The coaches have said there's been a lot of competition, and you need to have that internal review and see if some of the young guys can. You guys see what you have in some of those young players, and like you said, Malcolm Hartzog. It's interesting. He went from not being on the 2 deep at all to listed as a co-starter. Brandon Moore, the transfer from UCF, is listed as the backup to I think it's Quentin Newsome. I don't have the depth chart in front of me. Need to pull it up. But I'm interested to see maybe we do see some younger guys sort of get their opportunity after showing it in practice. And Omar Brown's probably the one that's most interesting. He's the FCS freshman of the year. He's FCS All-American. And then he was at corner, and then he was moved to safety when he came here. Now he's moving back to nickel. And I want to pump the brakes a little bit, because the coaching staff has talked this week about how Omar's going to play. How Javen Wright's gonna play. They're gonna get opportunities, but like we just talked about earlier on this call, how often do we hear that in the off season of guys like Ramir Johnson? We're definitely gonna have a role for him. He's been impressing, and he's gonna get his opportunities, and then he didn't play at all. So, but it feels different. I do think it does sound like Omar Brown really is gonna get the shot, and that he's been impressing the coaching staff. So he's probably the main person I'm looking forward to see an increase in snaps, even though Isaac Gifford hasn't really done anything, I don't think, to warrant a significantly decreased role. But sometimes you got to see what you have in other guys at this point in the season. I think Omar could be one of those guys.
All right, Zach, last one before we let you go. We got about 30 seconds left, so pretty quickly here. Give us your final thoughts on Nebraska, Indiana, and kind of how you think this game's going to unfold.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, I see a shootout. I have Nebraska winning 38-31, and on our staff, it's 3-1. Our other three guys picked Indiana to beat Nebraska, and I was like standing not very firmly because I'm like, all right, I could absolutely see this score flip. I think we're going to see Indiana move the ball. I think where they're going to put up a bunch of yards, a bunch of points. I mean, Nebraska's putting up is allowing 35.5 points per game, which is the worst in the Big Ten. So we're going to see a game in the 30s, I believe. But I think that Nebraska's going to need to pull out a turnover or two, and they're one of the worst in the Big Ten with lowest point or turnovers forced. But each time they force a turnover, it's been a game-changing one with forced fumble against Northwestern, Marcus Buford's 2 picks against Georgia Southern, strip sack against North Dakota from Garrett Nelson. So if they can get 1 or 2 of those, I think that's gonna be one of the main factors that can sort of neutralize the fact that Indiana's going to move the ball on them pretty easily.
Awesome. Appreciate the time as always, Zach. Good stuff. We will talk to you next Friday. See ya.
All right. Appreciate you, Nick.
That will do it. The interview with Zack Carpenter. I am now joined by the gentlemen out of Berries, Nick and Nate.
What's up?
Gentlemen, how are you?
Yeah, we're doing all right. It's nice weather up here.
Is it? It looks nice.
Yeah,
you're in your t-shirt. Nick's wearing his quarter zip, but I bet he's going to be hot in a little bit.
He is going to be a little hot.
I'm getting warm already. I mean, we had to probably walk a couple blocks to get up here to Berries, but I walked up here and Jake, first thing he says to me, Nick, it's too warm out for a jacket. And I said, Jake, you have to remember, I got to call a high school game at 8 p.m. tonight. So
That's true.
Just investing in the future and getting ready for it. So
now
I know it's going to be chilly tonight at 8 p.m. at Seacrest.
Now I do have to do one thing. Well, technically, okay, so I have to do 2 things right
Station
now.
ID's 1.
So, yeah, station ID's 1, so we're going to play that really fast. We'll pause 10 seconds for station identification.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
And the second thing is this did not get the amount of time that it needed, so it needs to be replayed.
It's Narco. What do you know?
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary. Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We need to give Narco all of the love it deserves.
I wish you guys could see what Jake Sorensen's doing out here because he's out here. I can't turn around because we got like the setup where everything's
playing the trumpet,
fastened down with the wind. But Jake's moving the hips and everything.
He's getting it.
He's ready for it. So
this song, and it's necessary. It'll be played tomorrow. I can guarantee you. Against Indiana.
That's right.
We'll see if the Hoosiers get down with it as well. I don't doubt that they will because it's a great song.
We're blasting Narco from the rooftop here at Berries.
I hope everybody that's listening is dancing because we're getting to the best part.
In your cubicle, wherever you may be.
Get ready. Here we go, gentlemen.
Narco.
What a great song.
You know what? Instead of Guitar Hero, they should make a Trumpet Hero.
There is a Trombone Hero or whatever.
What?
There's
Are you serious?
There's like a little game. Jake was showing me some of the not highlights, but some of the funny things from that game. It was hilarious.
Trumpet Hero.
BJ Arroyo on YouTube says the trumpet has 3 valves, guys, not 6 like you guys are playing. That would be the saxophone. Hey, fun fact: I used to play the alto saxophone back in 4th grade.
Then how do you not?
Grade,
then how
grade,
do you not know what you're doing right now?
Because it only lasted a couple weeks because I realized that I did not want to practice saxophone at the house.
I was the only kid in 4th grade that they told to stop playing the recorder. So
really? The recorder?
I have absolutely 0 musical talents whatsoever.
That's
why I'm so athletic, because God decided that he wasn't going to give me any musical talents. So he just made me the best athlete on the field in everything I did.
So actually, Nathan, I actually just recorded a commercial today that actually fits you pretty well.
All right.
It's for Lincoln Parks and Rec, and it said something along the lines of, if you are an athlete, a former athlete, or in your case, a wannabe athlete,
all right.
you should sign up at teamsideline.com/LincolnNE.
I know our last softball game on Sunday, I went 3 for 3. What did you go?
I think I went 2 for 3.
No, you didn't.
I fouled out.
Rico, he's lying to you.
I fouled out.
You fouled out?
I fouled out, dude.
Which is a strikeout. No,
it's
actually
basically a strikeout. It's basically a strikeout.
No,
So
I
here's
know
the
it
thing.
is. Just
Rico,
be better.
Rico, I have to be honest with you, and this is going to sound like an excuse, and I'm going to regret the moment I say it. I'm going to regret saying it. But
could have used me.
I played 18 holes of golf the day before, and the golf swing and baseball swing, they do not translate well. They're not synonymous.
He's doing that.
Don't do that.
And so I will say this, and Nate can attest to this. Now, Nate played a lot better than I did on Sunday.
I finally got my swing.
However,
it looked good.
However, he will attest and back me up on this.
That double.
The ball, when the pitcher would throw the ball, it was like it was on a string because it would just sit.
It was.
And it
was
would
really
stop.
windy.
It was extremely windy. The wind was blowing out from home plate. And so you'd think the ball was going to be deep, and it was perfect. I thought the ball was going to be perfect, and it was short.
As BJ Arroyo says on YouTube, you just didn't execute, Nick.
I didn't execute. You're right. I think I met BJ Arroyo the other day at Tipsy Tina's also. I was in at Tipsy Tina's.
Rico, I had 5 RBIs, too. It was pretty good.
Nice. You know what?
Did.
You would have had 6 if I was playing, because I would have ran from first home. So what happened?
Here's the thing. If he would have had 6 if I was on base also. And
that is true.
I just didn't execute.
Yeah, you're not that fast.
I just didn't execute.
You'd have been out. They would have thrown you out.
It is what it is. All right, Rico. So let's go back to Nebraska, Indiana here, because we can see we're sitting on the rooftop, Berries. Here, come on down. They have let's see what's going on today. We're giving away 3 pairs of Husker tickets for tomorrow's games against Indiana. A signed, yes, you heard that. A signed Mike Rozier jersey. But here's the kicker. You have to register before 6 p.m. to win. And if you are not present when the winner is drawn, you pick up the tickets tomorrow at Tipsy Tina's between 3:30 and 6 p.m. So there's a little bit of a kicker there. But here's the thing. They do have a DJ. Oh, Nate, they have a DJ tonight. Montez Beats will be at Barry's tonight from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Nice.
Montez.
We might be coming back.
I might have to make my way back here to Barry's after the little high school game to check out Montez Beats from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. But no, come on down to Barry's. We're here from 2 to 6 p.m. Obviously on the block. Strick might show up.
Strick will be here for on the block.
He is currently texting me asking about the stream, so I'm thinking that we should maybe get out of here. So I'll play. We got about a minute left. So then you guys can be joined by the Husker Hall of Famer. No, not myself. The other Bellevue West alum.
I'll step out every now and then for that one, so you guys can have your show. But more importantly, Rico, what's your final prediction on the game?
I told you, 34-24. Nebraska wins because I think they cover.
All right. Good teams win. Great teams cover. Nebraska has an opportunity to do both tomorrow. I said 34-28. So
good defense.
Coming up here in a couple minutes, you'll have On the Block with Nate and Strick. Strick might have to bounce out a little bit earlier. That's why I'm down here at Barry's. But come hang out. 9th and Q. Barry's, we're on the rooftop. So enjoy your Friday afternoon. It's a nice little breeze and everything. But that's all for today. We'll talk to you guys on Saturday from Tipsy Tina's. Have a good rest of your day, guys.
Adios.
This is Dan Friedman. Between